Hey there, YouTube. I wanted to do a review for a movie I saw a while back, and I don't know why I never posted my review of it because it's been a very debated movie. Now, with the sequel coming out in, I'd say, roughly 4 months from now, I think it's proper time to put it in perspective. And I'm talking about Dragon Ball Z. The recently revamped series is seeing new life again in a series of very, basically not another show, but movies, as we all know by now. The first of which was Battle of Gods, which premiered in 2014. I happen to own the DVD, and I saw the extended cut. I did not see it in theaters, unfortunately. I did not have money at the time. And it did pretty well at the box office, so now we're going to have the second one. And we're seeing Frieza now. The new one's already getting criticized because they're bringing back Frieza, which I covered already in my trailer review. So I'm going to go over this one, which there was a lot of people going back and forth about this one, Battle of Gods. So with that said, let's get into it. Now, let me say this, because all the complaints pretty much center on one thing: too much comic relief, too much of a juvenile type story, mainly the whole fight starting over Pudding, that detracted from it being a better, more intense Dragon Ball Z movie as opposed to what we've seen in the past from them. And yeah, I can't think of any more complaints people possibly would have had, because other than that, I mean, that's what people always complain about as far as this one. You know, just say it's a weak story, weak villains. Now let me go into my defense of the movie, because I really enjoyed it. First off, to me, it was trying to capture the spirit of Dragon Ball, which had a lot of comedic elements to it, and including a lot of ridiculous things. And we all know the pig wishing oolong for his panties and such stuff like that. So, I actually enjoyed all the comedy in this one. A lot of it was pretty funny. Now, was some of it a little bit drawn out? Just a little bit. Especially when you watch the extended cut, it really shows. But you know what? To me, I actually enjoyed the comedy and a lot of the build-up for the fight, because I think most people don't think about this, but I think some of my favorite scenes in Dragon Ball Z were not the fight scenes. Well, I love the fight scenes, of course, but I think my favorite scenes in Dragon Ball Z show was the moments of peace in between, the seasons or the big battles, where you see the characters just acting normal. Like, take the Cell games. The few days with those Cell games I enjoyed so much. You could see the character, Dragon Ball Z has that stigma of being the show. It's all about the fighting and the epic stare down. And you watch a few episodes where earlier in that saga, the Android saga, where Goku Piccolo learned how to drive. It was filler, I know, but I thought it was a really great scene. It was just funny and full of character, and it just showed what they do, when they're not doing the whole save the world deal with these high-level powered guys who are going to destroy everything. So with that said, I actually enjoyed a lot of comedy. Now, do I think it's a little too lighthearted? Just a little bit, but that's the thing I enjoyed about it too. Because all the things about Dragon Ball Z movies, a lot of them have generic villains. I mean, as far as Dragon Ball Z movies go, I enjoy a lot of them. I enjoy all of them to a degree, but there are some that are clearly better than others. For example, the Broly movies were really, other than the first one, which is really good, the other ones are kind of crap. Now, there's some other ones that I thought were okay, even though I own the majority of them. I think some of that really weak stories, like, let's say, Super Android 13. Really weak villain, just basically a rewrite of the androids on a worse level because they had no personality. They were just destroy Goku and that's it. So boring. Great fight scenes in that movie, but boring story. Now, the thing I love about Battle of Gods was they had some interesting villains, although even Piccolo said it himself, when they're training him. To me, I'm glad they didn't go balls out super dark territory for the very first movie, because you just, like I said, you don't want to make the fans come just yet. Because even though Battle of Gods still has some very impressive fight scenes in it, the majority of it was build up for building up basically the new characters and just for reestablishing what it feels like to be in this world of Dragon Ball Z. That was the great part about it. I like Whis and Beerus because they're very interesting characters. Not only are the designs original, which you can't say for some of the Dragon Ball Z, especially the Dragon Ball GD characters we saw only a few years ago. They're original. I like their personalities, and they're just pretty interesting to watch. I love seeing the character interaction. That's the thing you gotta love about Dragon Ball Z. The character interaction was pretty great. And Beerus, those guys, you don't hate him. You're just intrigued by him. He's an odd guy, and Wiz. That's why I want him a new movie. Going a lot of topic. I want to see, is Wiz gonna fight in this one to be like King Kai? We don't really see. We hear about his power, but we don't see it. But then again, by the time King Kai showed, we already knew he was weaker as opposed to like Goku and the Saiyans. But Wiz is supposed to be even more powerful than Beerus, so I kind of want to see that. Now, with that said, I also, on a side note, I enjoyed the music a lot for this one. It's one of those times I usually enjoy Japanese soundtrack as much as the American one, but this time Japanese soundtrack was just pretty on point. I loved every second of it, even though it can vary in tone. It actually flowed pretty well, which also leads me to animation. Animation looked great, and going to the character interaction, not only do we have Beerus and Whis as two interesting antagonists, I guess you would call them. I just love the character interaction, like Vegeta. Even though Vegeta, once again got his ass kicked, they actually built it up for the second movie there. He's gonna be really important and do some crazy shit. First off, I guess it's official now. Like, I don't know for sure. I don't know if it's canon, but I don't know what the official ruling is on this. Odd enough to say, but Master Roshi said it himself. And they said it before when Vegeta first went Super Saiyan. Is Vegeta officially stronger than Goku now? Well, minus the whole Super Saiyan God transformation, which Goku now has under his belt, and now he's felt that type of power, so he got stronger as far as they say in the movie. But up to that point, though, Vegeta going Super Saiyan and getting pissed off actually excelled him to another level, which I was just glad to see. I'm glad we had that scene. I mean, I love seeing Vegeta forced to do some comedic things. It was great. I love how they end on that note, where not only is it funny, but they show you it all this time that we've seen in the show. Vegeta keeps getting, he keeps being the second banana to Goku. I think we're finally going to see it happen, where Vegeta's really going to just become this. He's already badass, but now he's going to really live up to that potential, not just deliver cool dialogue. He's actually going to whoop some ass, apparently Frieza's ass, hopefully, which would be justified. So that said, I think it was a great introduction for a new era of Dragon Ball Z, which to me was basically the whole point of it. The whole point was not to be this ultimate balls out, balls of the wall fight, like say like Wrath of the Dragon or something, which is a very good one. It was meant to just be reintroducing us to the characters and to, I say, a whole new generation of fans, because it's been many years since Dragon Ball Z, and I won't even include GT, so yeah, it's been many years for Dragon Ball Z fans to even see anything coming out besides maybe a game or two. And so to see them all again, which is great. And I think the next one is where it's going to get intense and dark, That's what they always say, the middle one's usually always the darkest. So I'm glad to see that's going to happen now. Also, with that said, so for those wondering what I would rate this movie, I would rate this movie, honestly, I would probably give it like I'd probably give like a good B. A B around maybe like a low A rating, like maybe an 8.5 stars. I mean, there were a few times to me they could have done something a little bit different, but overall I was very satisfied with what I got. I really was. It's a movie I enjoy watching multiple times. The only things my complaints are just minor things, like I wish Gotenks went Super Saiyan 3 would have made a little more sense. But hey, I'm not complaining. And so with that said, yeah, just little minor things like that. Gotenks is my favorite characters. I would love to see him go Super Saiyan 3, even though he's still gonna be powerless. Still would have wanted to see it. But in any case, yeah, so I would definitely rate it about, a strong 8.5 stars. And as far as Dragon Ball Z movies go, I would definitely rate it among one of the better Dragon Ball Z movies, because there have been a few duds and there have been a few masterpieces. To me, movies like Wrath of the Dragon and Fusion Reborn and the Broly movie, the very first one, they're among some of the best. And then you have your duds, like the Broly movies and Super Entry 13, as I said, the Broly sequels, I should say, more specifically. So, with that out of the way, I would definitely rate this among one of the better ones, most definitely. You haven't seen it yet still because of bad word of mouth, I'd say don't listen to that. Definitely go see it because it's quite a sight to see, and enjoy it for what it is, which is basically a revamping of Dragon Ball Z, and it's time to breathe in a new era of Dragon Ball. With a new movie coming out in April of next year, Revival of Frieza, I suppose the title is for now, and live long Dragon Ball Z fans.